It's been a while. So, we're back on phone stuff, and I know that the title is and thumbnail is extremely clickbait, but it's true. I'm gonna go through it. So, in September of 2021, purchased the Galaxy Z Fold 3, which is the third iteration of the folding phone created by Samsung. Now, this was a phone that I had dreamed about, because before I had an S10, and I was switching between that and a tablet and my computer to watch things on, and I always wondered what it would be like to have a tablet in my pocket. And there was a deal that had come up, and I was gonna try to go for the deal, and it didn't work out. The deal ended up not going through. I forgot what the reasoning was. I think it was because I was trying to rush the process, so I ended up paying full retail price or putting it on a payment plan, which ended up becoming my problem with this phone, is that it was on a payment plan and it costs a lot of fucking money. And then quickly learned that it was not the phone I wanted it for. You can go back and watch my 6-month review video. It's the most watched video on this channel, and it basically sums up that I didn't really like this phone. This phone was not meant for me. No gripes about the phone itself, but it doesn't fit my lifestyle. Something I've learned is that I don't want a bigger phone. Also, that this doesn't really create a phone or a tablet. When you're trying to be two things at once, you usually end up being both of those things badly. And that's what it is. This is a bad phone. This is the size of a phone, kind of cut down, slimmed down. This is like a normal phone size, and it's kind of thinner, so nothing really fits in that aspect ratio. Then when it opens up into a tablet, it's not really tablet sized either, so it ends up being not a tablet. For instance, when I watch videos, one of the big problems is that I end up getting these large black bars that come up on the sides. Like, look at this film theory video. Like, look at this. It's got that, and then if I zoom to fill, it cuts off like a lot of the video. So yeah, that's really one of my biggest gripes, is I got this phone because I wanted to watch videos on it. I wanted to watch all kinds of things on that phone, because that's what I was expecting. I was expecting the experience of having a tablet, and that's not what I got. Instead, what I got was kind of a mix between the two ideas, which works in a way, but not really. It also wasn't really fit for my lifestyle. When I bought this phone, I was a truck driver. I lifted heavy furniture. That is what I did. This phone was $1,700, and it scared the shit out of me. I was buying fanny packs and backpacks and stuff to get it out of my pockets because I was so scared of dropping and breaking it. And then when I wasn't scared of dropping and breaking it, I dropped it every day. I'm not kidding. This thing has fallen out of my pocket more times than I can count. I'm gonna stand up and give an example. This is what the phone looks like in a pocket. Can you see that? It pokes out. Now, if I go to sit down, the phone tends to take a little bit of a dive out of my pockets, and I don't have very deep pockets, right? There's deeper pockets, but even on like some of my cargo pants, this won't fit into a phone pocket. So it's always falling out. There are scrapes and dents on the body of the case. The case is made out of this, the body of the phone. The phone is made out of this, like, I don't even know, metal? Very smooth, basically. So it slips out of my hand pretty easily. So it's best to have a case on it. Of course, cases are kind of hard to find good ones. I found this one, which was pretty alright, but they're all pretty pricey too, to be honest. No gripes with hardware at all. This thing is definitely top of the line for what Samsung was at the time, which is 2021. Top of the line. This was really good. Its battery life was fantastic, especially for something that you could unfold into a tablet and then watch things on with a bigger screen. Obviously, more resolution, OLED screen. So battery life was significantly good on this device. But its weight was it's so heavy. Like, this is heavier than any other phone. I lost a bunch of weight like a while ago, but I don't want to change my clothing because that's expensive, and also I don't really have the money. I just moved into an apartment and I live alone, and I kind of live paycheck to paycheck because I just wanted to get out of my parents' house. So I don't have like spare cash to go do things like re-get all of the clothing that I have grown out of, so I just wear belts and stuff usually, but that doesn't work for sweatpants. And this thing, when I put it in a pair of sweatpants that fits me loosely, will drag down the sweatpants, or the phone just falls out. So it's one of those things where it's really inconvenient. You can actually tell the weight of this thing between it and other phones. Size is not what I was looking for. This thing is longer than most other phones too. It's just everything. The interior screen is, again, like I said, OLED and flexible. Now, because it's flexible, now most people might notice this little notch in the middle. I don't really notice it. It's fine. What I did notice is that somewhere halfway through after my review, a plastic screen protector that was sitting on top of it came off. I had been under the assumption this plastic screen protector was not supposed to be removed. I've now learned that that was actually on the first fold, and that was what reviewers were doing, was they were peeling off what they thought was a screen protector, but it was actually ripping off the LCD screen. That is not the case for this. It was just a screen protector that came with the phone, but still, I remember them saying do not buy third-party products, so I didn't think there was other screen protectors, and as soon as that one went away, these small, I don't even know if we call them cracks or scratches, appeared down the spine. They're not too bad. I don't think more of them have really spawned since. The meat of this is I wanted to switch phones. I wanted a different phone. So this was my time to go out and experiment. So originally I was just going to switch back to my S10 since I had it with me. Problem was my S10 had suffered an unfortunate accident while I was moving furniture, and it smashed the screen. So I had to get it replaced a while back. This is way before I bought the Galaxy Z Fold. And then once I got it repaired, it was never the same. The screen was never the same. It was touchy. And then it stopped charging as well. And then I was like, okay, that's when I upgraded to this. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go back and see what it is. The day I decided I was going to go back, I woke up the next morning, phone would not turn on, died right there. I was like, okay, this is the universe telling me something. So then I waited a little bit, and I went to the pawn shop locally, and bought myself, I think it was called like a Radiant Max or something like that. It was some AT&T phone. Huge phone. I was like, yes, this is it. This is what I wanted. And that's when I learned that's not what I wanted. I did not want this phone because it was a bigger screen. Hi, Future Brandon here. Just wanted to explain something because I explained it poorly. I did want a bigger screen, but what I really had wanted was to stop switching between a phone and a tablet. I wanted something that was all-encompassing, and I thought that was something with a bigger screen or a phone that was a tablet, and it was neither. So that's what I tried to explain here, but I did it poorly, so hope that clears it up. Because it was supposed to turn into a tablet, which it didn't. And that's when I realized that I wanted a more compact phone, because that's just what it is. When you whip out a screen, sure, I want the screen real estate, but I don't want it to be excessively bulky or longer. So this phone, which was like, I'm guessing like 6.7 inch display or something like that, was big and bulky. I ended up switching. What I ended up switching between is these two phones. Now, I'm going to talk about them in tandem because this really opened my eye. The next one was my little sibling had switched to iPhone from their LG Stylo 5 Plus, which is a phone that came out in 2019. I switched to that phone, and it's something I learned is that maybe it's just LG, maybe it's just older Androids, runs extremely laggy and slow for something that came out in 2019. And now this is my next bit. The next thing I tried was the iPhone 6s. I know what you're saying, Brent. You used an iPhone? I did use an iPhone. I actually really liked it, and that's the thing, is I used an iPhone 6s, a phone from 2015, and it was far better at running things than the phone from 2019, which is insane. The only reason I'm not using this right now is because its battery is so bad that when I look at it, it will just drop like 20%, which is not good. So, yeah. But I actually was surprised about how much I liked Apple. Way back, I had an iPod Touch 4th generation, and I actually really enjoyed it. But once I got older, Android phones were cheaper, especially the low-end ones, like LG. I think the first one I had was like an LG G3 Vigor or something like that, which is an offshoot of the main LG thing. LG's dead now, so it doesn't even matter. But that was my first phone because it was cheap. And I was always like, I'm not going to buy into the Apple thing. Apple's so overpriced, blah, blah, blah. And then I was always wondering what the green and blue bubble debate was about. Anyways, I switched to this iPhone because I was like, I might as well try it. $50 on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace locally. Bought it off some old woman who was getting rid of it. You know? And it was actually a really good phone. I didn't want to buy a brand new iPhone just to test out Apple's OS, but this is a really good showing. 2015, and it ran smoothly. Texting experience was the best I've ever had. When it comes to these older phones, like this phone and the Radiant Max phone, the texting app was atrocious. It looked bad visually, and sending texts didn't feel good. The newer Samsung phones, I definitely say the texting app is better, but it's nothing compared to what iMessage is. I now understand the blue-green bubble debate. I thought it was just about bubble color, or the fact that you can play games. But I didn't really play iMessage games. I did the other things, like stickers and reactions and live photos, and the fact that when I send an image or a video to someone, it doesn't compress it into garbage, which is what happens every time I'm sent a photo on here. Reactions, I don't get double texts like you get with an Android phone. It was interesting, and that's when I started to do research into this stuff. That's when I learned that 70% of the world has an iPhone. My boyfriend has an iPhone, and that's mainly one of the reasons why I wanted to try it, because they kind of gave me like a little bit of sass when we first met, because they were like, what kind of phone do you have? And I was like, it's an Android. And they were like, oh. And I was like, okay, a little judgy, but I kind of get the judge now, because when everybody else is kind of connected into this sphere, I think I understand it. The messages are smoother, they have more access to things, the actual UI of the phone is a lot smoother. So actually, right now, I'm using this phone because that one doesn't charge well. But I'm not going to be using this phone for much longer. I think I'm going to be switching over to Apple, which is something that I think younger me would be absolutely blown away by hearing him say. But I will let you all know how that endeavor actually goes. But yes, this phone was so bad, it made me switch to Apple. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. I'm going to make more videos about my tech experience stuff and all kinds of other stuff. Like I make gaming videos and I may make vlogs and stuff. Who knows? I don't even know yet. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. But once I figure it out, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know if you want to stick around. Peace.